States, and around the world, have taken to the streets for what's being called the No Kings protest. Organized on June 14, 2025, this mass mobilization was a powerful message of resistance against authoritarianism and centralized power, timed deliberately to coincide with President Donald Trump's birthday, Flag Day, and a controversial military parade in Washington, D.C. The protest's name, No Kings, draws from America's founding ideals, a rejection of monarchy and absolute rule. Protesters say they are standing up for democracy, and against what they call the rise of authoritarian tendencies in U.S. leadership. From major cities to rural towns, people flooded streets, parks, and civic centers, voicing a shared demand: no kings, no dictators, no unchecked power. Let's break down what this historic day looked like. Small diamond: what is No Kings Day? June 14 became No Kings Day, as a symbolic reclaiming of Flag Day, highlighting patriotism not as loyalty to a leader, but to democratic principles. The day saw over 2,000 protests across the U.S., from New York City to rural Montana. It was part of the 50,501 movement, that's 50 states, 50 protests, one mission: defend democracy. The protest wasn't just a reaction to a parade, it was a coordinated outcry against a pattern of governance protesters believe echoes monarchy: excessive executive power, attacks on the press, use of federal troops on civilians, and policies that erode civil liberties. Small diamond: massive turnout nationwide. Estimates put the nationwide turnout at more than 5 million people, making it one of the largest single-day protest efforts in U.S. history. In New York City, at least 200,000 gathered at Bryant Park and stretched across Midtown Manhattan. Philadelphia saw over 100,000 protesters marching up Benjamin Franklin Parkway, fitting for the city where American independence was declared. Los Angeles drew an initial crowd of 20,000, but the gathering later swelled, and tensions erupted into confrontations with police. Even in smaller towns, like Big Rapids, Michigan, hundreds turned out, carrying handmade signs calling for a return to constitutional values and stronger checks on executive power. Small diamond: key cities in numbers. Chicago, thousands marched along Lakeshore Drive, with appearances from prominent community leaders and activists. Houston, San Diego, and Denver all saw protests numbering in the tens of thousands. San Francisco, protesters lined Market Street, waving flags that read, "We the People," and "No More Kings." In Spokane, Washington, the city merged No Kings Day with its Pride Parade, turning it into a colorful, family-friendly event that drew an estimated 60,000 participants. Small diamond: clashes and confrontations. While most protests remained peaceful, there were pockets of violence and tension. In Los Angeles, things turned violent after sunset. Some demonstrators reportedly threw bottles, fireworks, and rocks at police. The LAPD declared an unlawful assembly, deployed tear gas, and imposed a citywide curfew. In Portland, demonstrations near an ICE facility were declared a riot. In Salt Lake City, one person was critically injured during a shooting that broke out during a protest. Police arrested 3 people in connection with the incident. Small diamond: why are people protesting? At its core, the No Kings movement is about opposing authoritarianism in any form. Organizers cite increasing use of federal troops to suppress protest, cuts to programs like Medicaid, anti-union policies, threats to civil rights, immigrants, and press freedom, and the symbolism of a military parade, on American soil, on Flag Day, led by a president they say is acting like a monarch. The protest also called out the danger of disinformation, politicized justice systems, and unchecked presidential authority. Speakers in many cities reminded crowds, this country fought a revolution to reject